guys don't mind, we just kind of hit the ground running.
Yeah,
Let
no
me go
problem. I
ahead and
just
start the meeting,
Yeah. Sorry.
and
Yeah, Mike. I do have an iPhone, and I didn't notice
we'll
it,
in
but I
answer
have
to
noticed it
Devin's
today.
question, and welcome, Devin. Glad you're here. By the way, I encourage everybody to show your face if you can. It makes for a much more interesting meeting, um, a little bit more participatory, you know. Um, so
Like
feel
the
free
Muppet
to
Show.
do
And
that.
then Mike went away.
Unless you're, oh no, we lost Mike. He'll be back.
I'm
Oh,
having
there he is.
Zoom problems too. Well, actually, I'm having. Yeah, I won't
Unless
bore
you're
you with
in
the details.
witness protection, go ahead,
I
share your
did some
face. We'll
graphic
be able to.
driver updates, and then suddenly Zoom crashes.
Shit's breaking.
It's just
Hi, this is Devin. I'm not at home and I'm running a few errands.
Okay.
That's
So
fine.
that's why I wanted to know when the Q&A portion was.
It could be whenever you want it to be.
Yeah. Have
Okay.
you? Are you bringing us an issue?
Oh,
Well, let me
yeah,
go
I'm
ahead. Let
definitely
me go
bringing
ahead
an
and
issue.
start. Hold on a second,
Okay,
Devin.
sure.
We went very informal right from the get-go. I never even welcomed. I've welcomed people individually, but I haven't welcomed you all. Thank you so much for being here. This is WordPress Web Help. We meet the second Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We get together. We are a group of WordPress users of varying levels of expertise and experience. And we basically come together and help each other out with solutions. We got some people who've got black belts. We got some people who've got white belts. Um, and this allows us to offer a WordPress help desk, if you will, as WordPress itself, unless you go with the paid, WordPress.com, which is different from the realm of WordPress.org, which is where most of us live. They don't really offer a lot of help. So we fill that gap. So we usually start by calling for problems. So Devin, if you can tell us what it is that you're hoping that we can answer or cover for you. Still with us?
Yeah, I'm here. So what happened for me is that I am taking over for my aunt's website, and she passed, and she was an artist.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, and it's been a couple of years. I kept the website going during her like memorial time, so people could see it, but then WordPress would not renew our domains or her domain
Was it?
because there was a phishing issue.
I
Okay.
see. Well,
So they
who
didn't renew it.
where was it registered and whose name was it registered under? I'm imagining your
It
aunt.
was it was under my aunt's name and it was registered with WordPress.
WordPress.com is the registrar. Did you
I think so.
are you an executor? Are you in any position where you have official documentation?
I have official documentation because I was the executor during the probate process,
Okay.
but because the probate process is complete, um,
That shouldn't change things. You're
no, it
still,
shouldn't change things. I still have the documentation. And I don't know if that I've only spoken to bots, but I've t yeah, like there's been automated responses in the chat,
humans are hard to
and
find.
then I've sent emails, and then they said, "Oh, well, there's not much we can do because of the phishing that
Okay. Do you have a
happened."
backup of the website?
Well, I have the website on yeah, on a different platform. Like the domain is
What
owned by
platform, by the way?
is on WordPress. Um, it's called,
Because if
so
it's
I'm not at
Squarespace
home
or
right now.
Wix, If
Okay,
it's
when are you gonna be home?
Squarespace or Wix or Weebly or one of those
No,
where
it's yeah, I'm trying to remember it because it's on my Safari
Bro, let her get home.
links.
Let her get home. She
Yeah.
can hit us back up when she gets home.
Yeah, so I can check. I was just gonna grab something, but is this going till 7:30?
well, you never know. I
We
mean,
can make it go to
we're
7:30.
scheduled till 7:30, but a
Okay.
couple meetings ago, um,
Okay.
people hung
Yeah, a
around
couple
till
minutes ago
10:30.
we left at 6:15. But no, seriously, let's just
No, no,
wait
no,
for
but
her.
and yet a couple meetings ago, because I may end the recording
Yeah,
at
we went till 9 or
7:30,
something.
but I
Yeah,
leave what I call the parking lot open, so we can hang around
yeah.
and shoot the breeze. And
Yeah,
people
it's
hung out
just
till
where the
10:30.
hosting. The
All right.
hosting is at a different website.
Okay, well
So,
hit us up when you get home. We'll see what you got, and
sure.
then we'll tell you how to do
Okay.
it.
I
Yeah.
really appreciate this. It's like um I'm trying to work with my cousin who has a WordPress site, and I don't know if I need to get on WordPress.com
No,
and do like a paid
none of
monthly
that.
or something,
None of
or
that.
none of that.
None of that.
Okay, I
Now,
appreciate it. Okay.
exactly what could you be a little more specific about what WordPress.com said about the phishing?
They
Obviously,
said,
their
yeah, there
concern
was
is that you're not
concern.
an unauthorized person
They
trying
were
to.
concerned, and it was like I did work with a web professional to get her website back and up after the phishing happened. Um, but
Oh, there
then
actually was phishing.
yeah, because it was, I don't know, it almost looked like it was, I don't want to say Russian, but there was a different language
Okay,
on
you
the
got hammered.
website, and
Oh boy.
it was no longer showing her
That's right.
homepage. But we
So you got
did get it
hacked.
working again, but then I found out that we couldn't renew the domains from
Because you got hacked.
WordPress.
Hey, I administered an Al Qaeda recruiting site briefly until I found out about it and took it down.
Yeah, but
You
if
never
she can
know what happens
if
out
she can
there.
access her website, then that domain is still live. It's the renewal she's worried about, it looks like.
Or that's what I'm trying to get a sense of.
Yeah.
There was a history of phishing in the past. It got resolved, but now the domain has expired and it's
Right,
Yeah,
but
causing a
actually,
little.
in my text messages, I do have the information about the other
yeah, but how
server.
does
I
she
just need a few minutes
yeah, no
to pull
problem.
that
But
up.
how does she get to a website if she doesn't have the domain name? Right? I mean, how does she get to the website?
Well,
Are
she
you
said
accessing
she's
from
got
your
it up
different
on two
URL
other.
or
She's got it up on two other platforms.
right,
The
but
one
you
that.
still whatever platform you have, it's got you still need the domain name, right? You need an address. So is she using a different URL?
Well, that's why I was asking about
Yeah.
Squarespace
Okay.
because it can be Squarespace dot, whatever. It's not a true URL as you and I know it, but the site, Devin, real quick until you get home and can answer all the rest of the questions. The site that you're referring to, the main site, is that visible, or have you just received notices that it's expired, or what's the story?
It's not visible right now.
Okay,
It
so the
it was
domain.
visible until like February of this year, I would
Hmm.
say. It's hosting.com is where we have it, and I'm like trying to find a different um
What's the
Have
name of
you
the What's the
kept
name of the
paying your
website?
hosting fee?
the website's elizabethmontague.com.
But I mean, have you paid? Have
Let
you
me just put
continued
it
to
in the
pay the?
chat.
You're
You've
right.
continued to pay the hosting fee?
Yes.
So there's a good chance they have the files there still.
The files are in hosting.com.
Good, good. Okay, well that makes it easier. Anyway, find out what
And I'm
exactly
trying to
you have.
find a way to keep her artwork up
Shit.
Of
long term
course,
without having to pay for it. You know, I don't know
without
how we're
having
going
to
to do
pay
that.
for it may be tough.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to have to pay for hosting
Yeah.
and for the domain.
Because
Okay.
And
no, the
some
site's not up. The site's not up anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
right,
site's
but
not up.
the files are there, so we can point to it.
I know
Anyway,
I'm there.
we'll
I know
set
I'm
that
there.
aside for a second. Let's
Sure.
move into our introduction portion of
Thank
the
you.
meeting.
Appreciate it.
All right. See you.
What we'll do is go around and I'll call on you in the order I see you on my screen, and tell us who you are, what it is you do, why you're here. Always, I'm looking for ideas for the group moving forward, especially in terms of growing the group. If you have any resources or presentations that you've recently seen, that might be something we can reach out to that'll help boost our appeal. Always want to hear about that. And then whatever your biggest WordPress or business challenge may be. We are WordPress centric, but we also recognize that WordPress developers are small businesses. So some of the problems may not be specifically WordPress issues, but I think it's relevant to maybe consider some things because there's certainly a pool of people who know how to do business in the WordPress world. So anyway, let's start with Mr. Lance. There he is.
Hi, I'm Lance. I'm in Connecticut. I make websites. What other question was there?
Oh, and feel free to paste any contact information into the chat. And I always encourage people to save the chat afterwards.
I just make websites. It's pretty much all I do.
There you go. Well, cool. Thank you for that, sir. Moving on to the illustrious Mr. Steve Kinsey.
Oh, hey.
Hit it, sir.
Let's see who, where. I'm Steve, and where? San Bernardino, California. What? Websites and apps and things like that. Here for ideas. I don't know. I think I had one last week. I can't remember what I said, but or last month. I don't remember what it was. But anyway, I build apps. I build custom stuff. Right now, I'm working on a image and video generator with my buddy, and my biggest WordPress or business challenge. I don't know. I think maybe it's always been getting new clients, I guess. It's always a challenge. That's always the challenge, getting new clients.
Deal flow.
But because you got to do, because as a solo guy, you got to kind of, even if you have a partner, like I do, I have a partner, but just getting new clients is always hard, and because you're working on stuff, and your mind's on the coding, and then you got to switch up and become a salesman and do and yeah, that's probably my hardest thing. And of course, how do you pay a salesman? Do you pay him salary or do you pay him commission? It's really kind of difficult. But yeah, that's my biggest challenge probably. Other than that, I'm good.
I totally feel you. I always try to make sure that my website is articulating my value proposition as best I can. But where I get into trouble is the balance between working on something that's on the slab, as it were, as opposed to that ongoing marketing you need to do because our own marketing's not a speedboat. If you drive this stuff like a speedboat, deal flow is hard to get. The trick is treating it like an oil tanker, and keep it moving because eventually it'll grind to a halt, and then getting the thing started again is always a trick. Well, that brings us to Miss Linda. Linda, you're on.
Okay. Well, I retired from corporate last year, about a year ago. But what I miss about working is the people. So I'm really happy that I can be in the meetups because it's kind of like you guys are my coworkers now. So yeah, I like that.
I like your background, by the way.
Thank you. I created this in Midjourney
I was
and
thinking she probably did it. That's what I was going to say. She probably did it herself. There you go.
That's what
well,
I
I
would
did
have
the
guessed
prompt
that, yeah.
myself. Yeah, but yeah, I really like this style. And yeah, and I'm really interested in using more AI to like speed things up because I've been like busier than ever since I retired, and I just want to be able to do cool stuff, but do it faster.
Where are you?
In San Francisco, near San Francisco,
Okay.
San Mateo, yeah, on the peninsula. And
I was trying to recognize the skyline.
this is Chongqing.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, because we just went to China over Christmas, and I just really loved it. Chongqing's just a really cool city. It's like built up on the mountains, and it's like a cyberpunk. And yeah, it's
I
really
like
cool.
how you've gone with the washed out city with all the popping colors. That's I always like that.
Yeah. So yeah, they have two rivers that go through, and they have lots and lots of bridges.
Cool.
Um, but yeah, so I've been especially I think last week we had this AI meetup, and so I've been, like knowing about a lot of cool more tools, and so I used it on this project that I'm starting, and I thought maybe I'll share that with you guys if you guys are interested. Um,
Sure.
and
Absolutely.
so let's see. My biggest bit. I'm not a very good business person, so like I do too much work for free. So I think that's my biggest challenge and where I can use some help. And I am very interested in AI, the use of AI. So for ideas for the group moving forward, like that would be very interesting to me. Um, and when I present my project, I can tell you some stuff that I've researched and learned. So, okay, well, I
Wonderful.
rambled on enough. I'll let somebody else talk.
Thank you. Mr. Mike Noter.
Yeah, I'm Mike. I'm from Spokane, Washington. I, uh, I'm pretty much a business junkie. I've been involved with a lot of startups and turnarounds and stuff. But I got into websites maybe 6, 8 years ago, and now I run a weekly e-commerce meetup called Woo Wednesdays, and I do a monthly WordPress meetup, which is for the Spokane Coeur d'Alene area. So I've kind of gotten into websites quite a bit, and people like Steve, Ed, Lance, they've been very helpful and they've helped me a lot. What else is on that list?
And vice versa.
Yeah, biggest WordPress or business challenge. In my case, it's the state of Washington has become unbearable. I haven't actually done work in Washington since 2007. My last company, I domiciled in Nevada, but the next couple are probably going to be Wyoming. But Washington is probably worse than California. And if you're from California, you probably know what I'm talking about.
Them's fighting words, son.
Oh man, the regulations and the taxes, the estate tax now, the highest rate is 35%, which is, so everybody, all the billionaires are leaving, but they're taxing web services. Now they're taxing, it's just, and then the regulations are just to the point where I spend a lot of time helping people leave the state. Fortunately, I'm very close to Idaho, so I do all my shopping in Idaho. I don't spend money in Washington. But yeah, it's become unbearable, really. So not to get
Mm.
political, but to get political.
Well, you guys
That's
may
me,
be
man.
worse, but I'd like to think that we contributed heavily to the insanity
I
that
know
is
what you guys go
Washington.
through. Just your business renewals are insane. Aren't you like $1,500 a year or something?
You know,
Which is
we had
just what to.
we had a governor by the name of Gray Davis who bankrupted the state way back
He
when.
was before Schwarzenegger, right?
He was the reason for
Did he get
Schwarzenegger.
recalled?
He got recalled,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and ever since they unleashed the hounds of hell on. There is a cha-ching everywhere you turn.
Oh, we got
You
everything. There's a fee. Everything there's a.
one
Now
of the
they're pushing
big
through an income tax, which is illegal under our constitution. But I won't drag you down that road.
big
It just
issue in
drives
San
me
Diego,
nuts.
right?
You got to pay $1,500 or whatever a year just for the privilege to earn money to give the state money. Yeah, there's a real incentive.
There,
But
we'll rant on that in the parking lot.
yeah,
Real quick, one big issue in San Diego that's going on right now is we have, for those of you who visited here, we have an area called Balboa Park This was built for the 1903 World, it wasn't the World Fair, it was like the World Exposition or something like that. Um, and a lot of the buildings that were built temporarily for that have remained, been fortified, and they're, 100 and some odd years later, they remain. It's always been free parking there. Just this year, they decided that you can't go, and a lot of people go. I mean, this is like a great place to go and have an awesome free day. You go walking, there's museums, there's a whole section of international houses. Each little house has stuff from different countries. Sometimes they'll feature one. Really wonderful place. We got a space theater there. We got a couple art museums. We've got the Globe Theater. I mean, it's just this rich cultural area in San Diego, and they decided to start putting in parking meters. And people are not liking it. As a matter of fact, the first round of parking stuff that they put in were badly vandalized, to the like 70 grand worth of damage and pushed over and destroyed and but that's just the latest. We're in the python's grip. Every time we breathe, it tightens a little bit. Anyway, enough out of me. That brings us to Asta. You still with us?
Yes. Good evening. I definitely am. Good evening.
Good.
So
We
for
don't see your
myself,
face. We saw your face earlier. There you are.
yes, I'm back. So for me, I'm attending a Snap Inc. Program called Cold Talk. It's an all-women's class, and it's in Venice Beach, California. So right now I'm doing a WordPress. I'm creating a portfolio, and that's why I joined this. And I'm more interested in UX design. I did upload the link, but we've so far gone over graphic design concepts, HTML, CSS, UX, UI, IA, layout, CMS, JavaScript, jQuery, project management and agile, quality assurance, practical group projects, and portfolio development. So I was just introduced to this about 3, 4 days before the class started,
Are you
and I'm
also
very interested.
You're also in Los Angeles normally?
I was born and raised in Hollywood. So yeah, I'm a native to this area, Hollywood High, Chic.
There you
So
go.
things have changed quite a bit. And this is a field that I'm very interested in. We already had a meeting with the Honest Company because they're a part of it.
Really?
For example, yes. So there's a lot of different things. An employee from Google came, let us know you have beds there. People don't leave, they feed you. There's a lot of perks. So there's a lot of nice things about web, and tech. You just got to know where you kind of are supposed to go in a sense.
Very cool.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm just listening and adding
Yeah.
to
Good to
um,
have you here.
what I need. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Devin's back. She doesn't seem to be in her car anymore.
Hi. No, I'm just waiting for something. So,
And
yeah. Hi, I'm here.
you've been following with our introductions.
A little bit. Yeah. I didn't hear it super well,
We're
but I did.
asking, I put it in the chat. I don't know if you
Yeah.
have, you sound, it looks like you're on a phone maybe,
Yeah, let me see if
but
I can look at it
we're
again.
asking people basically, who you are, where you are, what it is you do, why you're here. We're always looking for ideas for the group, in a more 30,000 foot view. Uh,
Sure.
and then your biggest word, started telling us about it, your biggest
Yeah, so I
WordPress
started with
business.
that. I'm Devin. I'm in California, in Ventura, California. I have a business myself. I teach yoga and do sound healing. So support people through it to help relax using like crystal bowls and different kinds of instruments to play music and ideas for the group moving forward. Well, so my website is a Wix website. So that's why I'm like really feel lost when it comes to WordPress because I do everything in Wix and there's still lots of things that I'm not even using my Wix platform for, but it's working.
We accept a lot of Wix expats.
So, um, and my cousin has a WordPress site, and my aunt used to love to design in WordPress. Yeah, has a history of web design, um, and worked at as a graphic designer. So yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how to um, get my domains transferred, I would say. And I'm wondering if the whole thing about the phishing of the domains, if that is going to be an issue across WordPress, or if I have it in a different I mean, as long as it's a secure site, that's not going to happen again. So um if I can have it transferred to be like
You,
her website be linked to maybe my cousin's website.
you
Um
can. When we come back around after the introductions,
sure.
you don't have to register with. There's lots of people that will do that
Yeah,
business.
and some are
So
more
Okay.
cooperative than others. There's
yeah,
some
you can.
that are really
Sure.
good at helping you with
But
issues
but
like this.
but controlling that domain name is mission one.
Number one,
You
yeah.
always have to
Yeah.
control the website, the hosting, develop all that can be moved around, but you want to make sure you don't want to lose that domain name.
Right, but it's on WordPress.
Well,
So I
it's
have to get it
registered, but
transferred
see,
somehow.
that's what I don't think you quite understand. It's not on. You register
Thank
it
you,
with
babe.
this
You're so much.
international,
Thank you. Kapunka. Okay. Thank you.
you reg,
Sorry.
you register it with an international organization.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
not, the website might be on certain hosting and stuff, but your
Yeah.
domain name, I think it's called ICANN. Is that Steve? What's it called? It's like there's and these registers,
I can is the initial one. Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
whatever it is. So you can register with one and then go register with another one and then move to another one. You don't have to
Okay.
stay with anyone. The whole thing about the phishing and WordPress.com, we'll get into that in a little bit, but that
Okay.
problem can be solved. So
Okay.
Well,
Well, I will
the key
listen, and
is
then
always
if
the
I'm home,
people.
when I get home, if I still have some questions, I'll. But we have an hour, well, almost an hour left.
Yeah,
yeah, and
Deb.
I've got a list of meetups. They happen every week. Steve and I and Lance, we're
Oh,
in them
okay,
all the
great.
time.
Yeah, I'd love
So
to hear more about
if we
those.
don't get it here, I'll put a link in the chat for you for a
Great.
bunch of
And I'll save
online
the chat.
meetups.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no
Try to be
worries.
here, by the way, for Steve's going to give us news in the WordPress and
Okay,
Woo
I'm going to be in
world.
my car and I'll listen. Thank
Okay,
you.
very good. But I'll just make one point with you really quick. The key
Okay.
is the people, because different, I'm always pressing on my clients the importance of good customer service. There are cheap web vendors of all kinds. And then there's experienced one. You may have just come across somebody who has no experience with that particular transaction, and we know it's possible. We know you have the documentation proving that legally, yes, you now speak for your aunt's estate, and it's just a matter of finding somebody who can translate that into a transaction and the proper documentation.
Yep, that's what I've been trying with WordPress to do, but
There
I
you go.
haven't gotten there yet. But it's
Well,
we'll get it working.
might be time to try a different one.
Yeah. Well, hosting is where we have the content. So,
Yes.
okay. Thank you.
All
All
right.
right.
And
Bye.
Miss Lisa, that brings us to you.
Yeah,
Tell us who you
hi.
are.
I'm in Denver, Colorado, just outside of Denver, and I acquired a business called Denver by Foot a few years back, and it has a WordPress website that I have not managed to learn. It's basically a blog and a resource for urban hiking opportunities in and around Denver. But I'm about to put on an event, and I was hoping to figure out if there's a plugin that might be recommended for event registration. It's a free event. It's not, I'm not selling tickets. I just need a way to track registrations and people who cancel instead of doing it through email because this one's probably going to be open to about 30 participants. I work two jobs and my time has gotten very limited to keep this going. But it's a 14-week series of walking a 71-mile trail that's pretty famous in Colorado called the Highline Canal Trail. And it's how Denver by Foot got started many years ago. So I keep trying to spend time in learning the website and how to navigate. I'm not sure. I would love to acquire a contact that, for not too expensive of a fee, could just walk me through the basics of what was used to build this website and recommendations on some thoughts on what to do to update it and where I can learn from.
Got it. Well, cool. That sounds like a neat project. 71-mile urban trail. That's,
Yeah, it's a very long trail, goes out from our airport into a canyon. It was meant to bring water all the way
I was gonna
north,
say, just
down
the
south.
airport could have a 71-mile trail. I have been there. Goes
I
on
put a link
forever.
in the chat for event calendars, the top
Okay.
12. I think Modern Tribe got bought by some. Anyway, there's lots of plugins that will do exactly what you're talking about. A lot of them are for free. And I put a link
Perfect.
to a bunch of them in the chat. There's an article from Kinsta. There's a hosting company. They do a pretty good job with their blog.
Mhm.
Pretty reliable source.
Thank you.
So
I'll
what
make
you're
sure
trying to do is pretty easy.
I'll take a few minutes to talk to you about how to vet products, because one of the double-edged sword in the WordPress world is the fact that it being open source, they allow all kinds of development. Now, there's a range of development from people who develop a great product and then stay with it and support it and develop a reputation that can be counted on. And then there's people who just came out of computer class, built an app or built a plugin, and never supported it, never did any tech support for any of their users, and you don't want to be landing on those. But there's ways to vet products in the WordPress world, and we can help you out with that.
Thank
Well,
you.
cool. Well, that brings us to me. Where's my card? Um, I am Edward Sanchez. I am located in San Diego, California. Been here since I was a little kid, moving here from New York City, where I'm sure as hell glad I'm not there today. Um, I specialize in WordPress, have done so since 2009 or so. Before that, was building websites the old-fashioned way with, with old blacksmith tools and such. And I love working with small businesses. My business model is that most small businesses don't have a proper digital marketing plan in place. Um, for a lot of people, it's just a matter of just checking a box. I have a WordPress site, or I have a website. Um, my philosophy is you have to have a really strong website that features what makes your business special, unique, your best products, your best pitches, your best services, everything that can be there 24/7, shouting at the world how great you are. And then, but you have to have ways of getting traffic to it. If your light is hidden in under a bushel basket, you might as well not have it. So my specialty is making sure that people not only have what I call spokes that direct traffic, email marketing, social media, lead ads, even print. I still have faith in some aspects of print, and it can be very useful if used thoughtfully. Anyway, that's what I do. I put my contact information in the chat, and let's get back to our meeting. Which let's see if Devin's back.
So
Devin, are you?
I searched name.com for Devin's domain name, and the ElizabethMontag.com they're asking to make an offer, but ElizabethMontag.org is available for like $7.50 a
But
year,
the
which is
.com has been registered since what 2000 and it's been registered for a while. So
right.
it's
Yeah.
probably her.
Well, that's what I was getting at. It's like, okay, I'm not going to WordPress. I went to name.com. Most of us use name.com or Namecheap or Pork Bun for registrars. They're
Yeah.
better. And so it's available on a different registrar, but they want you to
Yeah.
make an offer, which means there may be a lot of people looking at it. And if they get a lot of
No,
traffic, then,
which means she might own it already.
oh, she probably, well, if it expired, she doesn't, right? That's the issue.
Yeah. But she might be within the
I don't
legal
think I don't
window.
think the registration expired. I think the hosting expired.
Okay, so
No, the hosting hasn't. She said she's still paying her hosting.
You'd still be able to
Yeah,
find it. but you can't.
the hosting, well, it has to be renewed, like on
I
the
think Devin's
13th.
with us.
Sorry, but yeah, the domain is expired.
right.
But-
You did say you've been paying for your hosting account.
Yeah, the hosting, I was trying to see if maybe transfer it to a different hosting, but then again, I don't know how to get all those files and make sure it's all organized and transfer all the files in an easy way to another hosting.
There's migration tools that can help with that, but there's two issues here. The domain name is the
Okay.
one we should probably focus on, because if you don't have the
Right.
domain name, wherever you move it to, they still can't, either you're going to get a different domain name, like a .org
Yeah.
or a .I, or you're going to get the original one.
If it was me, I would probably make sure you get that stabilized, take care of the domain issue, get the
That's-
site up and running,
That's the
and
first.
then you can consider
Right. So
moving it.
going
as a
back to what
second.
Steve was talking about here, it's like, all right, well, if she registered it with .com, WordPress.com, well, why is name.com allowing me to make an offer for it?
Because there's brokers.
Well, right, I get, which
Well,
means it's
Yeah.
that's my
Because
logic.
it might have
Go
been
ahead.
past the time, because it was in February.
Yes,
and
that's
then
what I'm trying
It
to.
expired.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to talk to Steve about. Is that it probably is expired and it probably is available. And Steve's saying, well, you owned it originally. You probably have a claim to it because it's her name. If you had a history there, but you don't want to spend.
Yeah.
It hasn't completely expired yet because just because you can make an offer. I mean, I have a couple of domains that I own that I allow to be on the market.
Then it should be. She should be able to access the registrar account.
She should immediately go
When
right
did
now.
it
It's only
expire,
been 2
Devin?
weeks. It's only been 2 weeks.
When
We're just
did
out
it
of
expire,
February.
Devin?
They've
Are you
already
home? Can you see
expired.
where you're registered at?
Let's hold on. Let's try to
I
have
can't
one
see
person
that right
speak
now.
at a time.
I've done that DNS. I know it's not a DNS, but the search for the information, and it still had WordPress related information and content. At least it did 5 days ago. I don't know what's changed overnight,
Right.
but I noticed that the price for hosting.com went up like overnight to like $50 more a year. So I don't know if that's the thing is, I go on WordPress.com and I try to renew the domains just there, and then they say, and it says, you cannot renew these domains. Like, I'm not allowed to just pay for them again.
When did
So
it actually expire?
It expired in February, but I was not allowed to renew them.
On the 22nd.
Well, probably you may have missed the message, and entirely possible they didn't send you a message, but you will get a certain date where the domain expires. There's usually a grace period. You are clearly beyond that.
Right.
And they may not do a grace period. There's no law that insists that they have to give you a grace period. But at this point in time, what I would say, you need to, present the documentation to get the domain back, get that domain pointed to hosting.com. And at that point in time, you make sure, because, one thing that I'm always harping on is backup, backup, backup. Most websites aren't backed up. Most people don't know what it's like to have that pit of your stomach bile feeling that your website just, well, you're sort of feeling it right now, but thank goodness you've continued to pay your hosting.
So
Make
Devin,
sure that while you're at hosting, that any best practices were followed. A lot of websites that I see built by pretty experienced developers don't have best practices. They don't have, the health and hygiene well taken care of for the site. They don't have, any sort of plan for making sure that I mean, heck, if the site hasn't been backed up, I'm sorry, updated, that can cause all kinds of security and other issues. So you
so
do,
Devin, let me
Yes.
try to explain to her real quick. Like, this is what I think's going on.
Sure.
Because you're paying for
Okay.
hosting, they're holding that domain name. The domain
Right.
name registration expired,
well, I was,
but
I
they're
was,
not.
I was
Hold
assuming
on,
that.
let me.
We already talked about that,
I
but I'm
know. I'm
telling,
trying to. I'm talking to Devin. Hold on, let me finish.
Okay.
So the reason why it's like that right now is because you're still paying the hosting. What you need to do, because you're paying for the hosting, you should open up a support ticket. And because you're paying
Okay.
for that support, and you're explain, my mom died, I can't re-register it. It's a phishing thing, and they will probably straighten that out in about, I don't know about WordPress.com. But the reason why it's still out there and you can make offers
Okay.
on it is because it is expired. But
Mm-hmm.
because you're paying the hosting at WordPress.com, because I went to WordPress.com and I did a search and it says this domain name is connected to a WordPress.com site, just like you said. That's the whole
Yes.
hiccup. And they're not going to want to lose your hosting business. And if you go to them and you tell them, hey, listen, I don't know what's going on here, but if I can't fix this, I can't pay for the hosting, they're going to want your business and they're going to probably figure that out in a hurry. And just like Steve and
Okay.
Ed was saying, if you have to present some documentation, but really,
no, you will have to present documentation. There's no two ways about it.
maybe, but
No,
But
there's
then,
no two ways about it. She's not the registrar. She has nothing to do with the website on paper. So she's going to have to prove to ICANN by
I don't know.
way
I've been
of the
able to renew
registrar.
registrations for people multiple times. It was never an issue.
okay.
You
Well,
know,
So
they
what I
want the
want to
money more than
say
anything, but
is,
but
can
the
you
point
hear
I'm trying
me?
to make,
well,
open up a support
we're
ticket.
talking about retrieving something from an individual who has died.
I got that. I understand that. I
Yeah,
do. I do
there's
that. But
there's special circumstances.
I'm just saying
Or
it's not the
special
mountain.
circumstance? Okay.
It's
No,
open up a
Okay.
support ticket. If whatever
Okay.
they ask you to do, just do it. And I don't think it'll be but a day.
Okay. But can I say one thing? Can you hear me right now?
Sure.
yeah.
Yes.
Can you? Oh, you can. I just wanted to check that you can hear me. So,
Hey, Edward from Brass Ring Web Design, popping in for a sec to tell you how we can help your DIY website project by making your website effective, not just pretty. At Brass Ring, we take a big picture approach to digital marketing, building a strong foundation that drives long-term growth. We use our hub and spoke traffic model. Yes, of course, we design high-performing WordPress websites that serve as your central marketing hub. We also coordinate traffic to it from key platforms like email marketing, SEO, social media, and ads. We align every aspect of your digital presence for lasting success. More than just ad managers, we're your partner, optimizing the entire customer journey to better use your time and marketing investment and deliver lasting value. Training and coaching you along the way means you continue to save DIY money and retain control. And now, back to our meeting.
yeah. So sorry, just crossing a street here. And, okay. So I have hosting.com for hosting, not WordPress.com for
No, we
hosting.
get it.
Only
Your website
the
is hosted
domain.
somewhere. It's common. You can have
Okay.
your registration of your domain does not have to be in the same place that you host your account. However,
Okay.
this is what I was trying to get across. There are
Sure.
there are web host companies And here's the thing:
Mm-hmm.
if you're talking to somebody on the phone, you're on a phone queue. You know, you call in, you get a newbie this time. The next time you might find a 5-year veteran who might have more experience on DNS issues. The thing is, you need to get that taken care of first. Need to get the website operating correctly, and while it
Mm-hmm.
is, before you migrate it, make sure that you're migrating a sound WordPress installation, which might be just simply a matter of just inspecting the site and making sure that somebody has done their due diligence when they set up the site. Because I see some pretty hideous setups, and then you move it to save the money. But for now, you have a legal issue on you. And maybe Mike has experience with hosting.com where he can speak with confidence that they will help you with your DNS issue. I'm saying don't
Okay.
count on that necessarily. You may
Okay.
you may have to go to a different registrar who is more
Okay.
user friendly, who's more experienced, and have them help you with that process, you know.
Okay.
And then you'll still at some point in time want to, you know, get that site stable, inspect it, make sure it's a good site in all the ways that standard practices calls for,
Yeah,
and
just so
then
you
you
know,
can move it.
Devon, WordPress.com
Yeah.
thinks you're hosted there. They're telling us it's hosted there. And Steve just did a search and it's registered with WordPress.com.
Well, that could
But
just
there's
be
no
simply
phone
if
number
she
to
got privacy,
WordPress.
if she paid for privacy, that's what they put up.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
Steve
it'll
just
Yeah.
put in the chat. He just saw that where it was registered, and I did a search at WordPress.com, and it says the domain name is connected to WordPress.com.
right,
Yes,
but
the
So there
domain
might,
we
is,
still
but not
don't
hosting.
know the actual. That's not the registrant. That's the
Right.
Registrant was
that is the registrant. That's not
Right.
the owner,
Hosting.
and that's what
I
matters.
think Devon is a little confused about the hosting and the registrar and where they're at. It's looking
Well, I'm
like,
not confused about it because hosting.com is the host and word.com is the register. The
Well,
only thing I'm confused about is can you have something, a domain through WordPress.org and
no,
not through WordPress.com?
but you can't
yeah,
register it. You can
no,
host it using
Mm-hmm.
.org, but you
you
can't
can
register it.
register.
Okay.
Yeah, you can register that
Okay. But you can't
domain,
register it.
You
but you
Okay.
won't
register,
do it. You
use a
still need.
registrar to, yeah, go ahead.
Just in the same way that WordPress.org
Okay.
doesn't do hosting, you know, you're still reliant on whoever. It's like your car. You have it in a garage called hosting.com. You know, the DMV has the registration. It's a different building, different organization entirely. The two operate in concert. Right now, your registration has expired, so you're not allowed to drive on the internet. But your car, they haven't pulled your car out of the garage yet, you know, or
Okay.
you know, your files are still there. Your car is intact.
Right. Yes.
If you don't pay for
Yeah.
that hosting, then that's when the files disappear, and then we start
Yeah.
asking about questions about like, do you have any backups of the website? And I'm not talking about Wix or Weebly or any other platform because those
Mhm.
backups aren't going to do you any good
No,
for
like a backup
WordPress.
file.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
think your first thing that you need to do is go to, like Mike says, I mean, try it. See if
Yeah.
they've got stellar tech support, but I mean, if you're setting up a support ticket, you're already behind. You know, I prefer where you can actually speak to somebody on the phone,
Yes.
and get help
Yeah.
like that.
I'd like that
And
to be able
if
to
you
talk to
sense,
somebody on the phone.
don't be afraid if you sense that somebody's clueless, because there's a lot of clueless people on frontline tech support. Just
Okay.
say thank you very much. I'll get back to you guys. Hang up, call back, and you know, you're gonna be put in a queue, and you might get somebody more experienced. You can always ask for, you know, make sure you're talking to the right department. Make sure that you know, if a supervisor is available, that you take advantage of that. because you do have something that is outside the box. The average frontline person is not trained, probably, to, to deal with estate issues.
Yes, I
You're
know.
having to
Yeah.
establish your legal right to anything of you basically have power of attorney over your
Okay.
aunt's properties. And you want to make
Yes.
sure that moving forward, you get to, whenever you register something, there's four fields for registration. There's the actual owner, there's the
Mhm.
registrant, which is where it's registered. You've got a technical contact, and then there's like an administrative contact. So you have to make sure that all those things are in the right. I mean, it's not complicated, but you got to have your ducks in a row, especially if there's a history of spoofing. Whoever's on the phone is going to be on guard, So
Okay.
it it's not
And the other
impossible.
thing,
Just take
so
good
is it
notes.
okay to change things to my email address rather than her email address?
Yeah, you should be the
Um,
administrative
okay.
contact, and
Okay.
probably, if there is there still an entity like your aunt's trust.
No,
No, okay.
no.
Well,
It was
then
a
you would
probate.
probably
No,
be
no.
transferring all those things to your name.
Right. Okay.
So,
It was kind of the last step I did. All I did was renew it, try to get the website up back and running. Um, yeah. So,
everything isn't
and then
as plug and play as we hope.
but then it was like there was lots of other things that needed to be done, and then the expired credit card attached to them. Why didn't they get renewed? And then
Yeah.
it was because it didn't matter how much money was in the account; they wouldn't renew them anyway.
So are you
So,
clear on your next
um,
step forward?
okay, so one of the next steps is talk to hosting.com and see what they could do on their end to renew the domain.
Yeah, they
To
would
to
love
So,
to
to
have
tell
you
me what
register
to
it with
walk
them.
me through it, to walk me how. I don't know if I can on hosting.com
no, that's not
do
what you
it through
do.
there.
Yeah, every web host offers, they offer domain registration. They may not do it
Okay.
themselves, but they have a partner,
Linda's got
So
that can
that
some,
could
do
be
it
a
with.
temporary solution until we find a different um
check the chat.
transfer.
Look
Okay.
at the,
I
look at,
will.
there you
I'm
go.
I'm just about home. So I am going to log on because I think my cousin said that he renewed the hosting.com. So I will check to see
I
that
mean,
that
and
got
it's
renewed.
it's in the it's in the window of where they don't let you like transfer domains. Isn't there like a window
Yeah,
like
that's right.
before and
You're right.
after?
That's right. Yep.
But
It's still in the
you know,
window?
It's,
mhm.
Okay.
it could be still in the window. Yes.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
it's still in the window because it said about 30 days. And but you've logged into your WordPress dashboard, your
Yes.
WordPress.com dashboard.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I can give you some of that information once I get logged in, but I was trying to do what I could, what I remembered.
And
So,
Well, you
and
have
you
I'm
a
gonna
already
num
stay
a num
on the call
you
a,
already or opened a support ticket.
with who? With WordPress? Can
Yeah,
I
with
I
do a
don't
WordPress.
support
honestly, I
ticket
don't know that I
if
would
I
open
do
a
not
support
host
ticket.
with them?
The thing
Well,
about
that's
Yeah.
support tickets is you fill out a support ticket, you wait 48 to 72 hours for a response, and then you got to respond to that, and there's another 48 to 72 hours, and it's a tremendously slow
yeah.
process. If you can do it by
So
phone,
the recommendation is that in this support ticket you put phishing in the message in the subject line or something, and then that should expedite it.
well, the phishing is in the history. It's in the past. It happened, but
Yeah,
her
it
Well,
her current
happened, but
her
we
current
worked it out.
issue, her current issue is that she needs to transfer a domain that is not hers, but she has the legal right to it.
But if she can log into the WordPress.com dashboard, it seems like she should be able to manage the domain and the hosting. But I don't know for sure. But I mean, I've dealt with some WordPress.com.
Well, isn't that who you said you spoke to was WordPress.com, Devin?
I'm parked and I'm gonna go inside the house and look to see what I can tell you when I look at the
All
website.
right.
No, the
That's
question
best.
was, did you speak to somebody at WordPress.com?
I did not.
Who
No,
was
but
it
I
that
had
you spoke
everything
to?
transferred to her email, so I wasn't getting things as quick. So I need to just have things sent to my email. So things get expedited.
Go
And
in and open it up and take a look. She keeps referring to hosting.com.
hosting.com is where I have my hosting.
Right. And WordPress.com thinks it's connected to WordPress.com.
But somebody told her
Well, I know
that
that.
because of the phishing issue, she couldn't
Yes.
have the domain. So that's what I'm trying to figure out is who
To
told her
straighten out
that.
the registrar, though,
Gosh, how do I save the chat from an iPhone?
You can't.
Oh,
Sorry. Get on your
But if you
workstation.
put your email in the chat, I'll send it to you.
There you
okay.
go.
Sounds good. I'll do that.
Steve, did you see the link I put up there a little earlier from WordPress.com about that domain name?
Yeah, I just checked it all out, and you're right.
So that's where I
I
mean,
know.
it's
Okay.
WordPress.com and it's hosting.com, but it can't be both.
She's with
Automatic, right?
WordPress.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
what it looks
Yeah,
like.
and they're terrible. I have a friend, she had her domain at WordPress.com, and it was like really sticky and complicated.
Yeah. I mean, they
It's
give good support, but the registrar portion is not.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know if I can't remember if we even were able to move the domain.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but WordPress.com is just a means for them to try to make money off an open source product.
Yeah,
So
they
it's
provide
not,
hosting services but
yeah,
they
they
own
offer some services, but they're not great at anything that I've ever heard of.
well, the
No, they're
support's been pretty good.
The
For the
ability to actually speak, that's why I'm saying she should speak to someone and yeah, she should start by talking to the registrar,
but
but I was assuming that's who told her, I assume she took advantage of the fact that she's actually paying WordPress.com for a domain registration or was.
well, that's where I think there's a little confusion because she keeps saying it's hosting.com. The evidence says no, it's WordPress.com, and WordPress.com does provide registrar services, but their strength is in the hosting packages and the other stuff they do around it. Like they own Jetpack now, they own WooCommerce, they own these texting stuff. So but I work with several couple WordPress.com clients, and they've got the business package. And I'll tell you, every time we call, they pick right up and they get on. It's been really, really good.
And they pay
But as
through
Linda was
they
saying,
pay
their
through the nose for it
registrar
too.
portion is wonky.
They pay through the nose for that too, right?
Well, I'm looking at, I mean, they were given the ElizabethMontag.org was for $7.20, which is about as cheap as you can get anymore. But the .com one is not available because it's connected to a WordPress.com site. And if she's paying for hosting through them, they probably won't let that registration go.
Yeah,
But she thinks she's hosted at hosting.com.
no, I think we clarified that for her.
I don't know. I'm not sure that she got that or not. But
Yeah,
when she opens up her back end and admin panel, we're going to be able to see.
mhm.
Right? We'll be
And
able
it
to see
seems
Yeah, I
exactly.
like
just have to figure out how to get logged into here on my computer, so that'll take me a
Yeah, no
moment.
problem. Whenever
I
you're
think you
ready.
just go to meetup.com and then click on the link.
No, she's talking about the other stuff.
She's trying to
Oh, I see.
open up her admin panel.
Oh, okay.
In the
Right. So
meantime,
wherever
Linda,
she's
was
at,
there something that you wanted to tell us about?
Who?
Linda,
Oh, yeah, I
was there
wanted to
some?
share some designs and see what you think,
Rock and roll.
if there's time.
Yeah,
There
there's
is.
time. And then we want to talk about Lisa. Before, real quick, like Ed was talking to this, there's ways to evaluate plugins, and you really want them to be a large installed base and recently updated, because most of the updates are security updates. A few of them are performance. Every once in a while, I'll have major updates, but for the most part, you want one that's been updated in the last 3, 4 months, maybe 6 months, and you want like 100,000 installs. You
You
don't
want
want a
to,
thousand
starting
installs.
from the top,
Yeah.
you want to know how many stars. We live in a 5-star world. My personal preference is never to use anything less than 4 stars. Sometimes if you're dealing with something extremely niche, which you're not, I'll accept a 3-star just because there isn't anything other. That's less and less the case as we see more and more plugins and what have you. You want to see how long it's been since that product was developed. How many downloads, how many people are actively using the thing, when their last update was. If something hasn't been updated, they at 2 years they remove it. If something hasn't had any movement on it in 2 years, they will remove it from the approved. They'll take it out of the WordPress Codex, which is the Bible for the online Bible, codex.wordpress.org. For all things WordPress, they'll remove it from their approved list, and which doesn't mean that it won't continue to operate. It might even still be available for download on the developer's website, but WordPress no longer feels good about it. And another thing, if they have tech support, sometimes tech support is just a forum, where people can ask questions, and a lot of times they're just answering like we do here. They're answering each other's questions. But they'll usually on the codex at the website at the codex.wordpress.org, you'll see how responsive the development team is to issues, because anytime there's an update to WordPress of any sort, you suddenly shuffle the deck, and some products sail on well because the development team is ready for it, they're on it, or responsive to any issues that come up, they debug it right away. Others, not so much. So you want to be aware of that sort of stuff. So all that information, you just look up the plugin on the codex, and you'll see it right there and then.
And that's probably a good recommendation because, like I said, I acquired this website, haven't done much to it, kept WordPress updated, kept plugins updated. There's a couple of things I'm not sure of, but I should check that these are good, still good plugins,
Exactly.
basically. Okay. Thank you.
Steve,
What?
take over.
No, I got nothing to say. Uh, well, Linda, you got stuff to talk about, right?
Yeah.
About the shows.
You
Yeah, let's
ready
show.
for me?
Let's
You
look at it.
ready?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I had shared with some people in the group this mock-up that I did. That was my initial mock-up. I got inspiration from Midjourney, but I took in some of the elements and moved them around, took it into my graphics editing program, and sent it to the client just to get her initial reaction. And she really liked it, but she said that it had too much of the terracotta. It was too overwhelming, the
Yeah,
terracotta.
two brown. Huh?
Yeah, and she would like to see it more of the teal.
Okay.
So I created these four in Figma,
Yep.
and I used Figma Make to get some inspiration. I used a pixel prompt in ChatGPT to write my prompt, and then used
Yep.
it in Figma Make, and then in this one here, I used Free Pick to and it created some of these elements that you see. And then I took it into Figma and I moved it around. And what they do is they do like crafts that are good for healing. So it's about healing through art.
Yeah.
And then this one was inspired also by Figma Make, and then this one I just did myself.
And what
Um,
did she like? Did she like the final or did she like the C or D?
she hasn't weighed in on it, um, but so because I couldn't wait for the client, so I asked Claude to review my mock-ups. So I
Uh-huh.
uploaded my mock-ups and then I posted a meeting summary that I had when I spoke with her about the one that she didn't like. And then
Yep.
we talked about like her vision for her business and everything. And so I uploaded all of that and it just did a fantastic job. It went through and it ranked that one. So I arranged it the way that Claude liked it. And
Yep.
Claude liked this one the best. And
Yep.
then it ranked them 1 to 4. And then I asked it about taking all the good things from all four and then creating one new one, which you saw.
Right.
And so uh
Personally, I agree with Claude. I like C.
mhm. Oh
I,
yeah, but
I kind
yeah,
of
so
like
you like that
B.
one better, but I liked this hero a little bit better. So I moved that, but this is the one, this is the composite here. I guess I can just do I
Hmm.
can just do it presenting. Might be easier to see.
uh,
So yeah, so this one is the one that Claude liked.
yep.
And these are actually pictures from the client. So
Yep.
I did a few in Midjourney just
Yep.
to fill in. And
Yep.
then so that was that one. And then this one, I really liked this headline thing that, would get some info, get people to like book up quickly. And this was a piece of art that I created in Free Pick. It wasn't like my favorite, but it was like along the lines of what I was looking for. And then it created these tiles, which I thought were really cute. And then I tried another more whimsical type font. And
Oh yeah. Uh-huh. I see that. Yep.
That's the
yeah,
one I like the best because of the colors and where the first one, the recommended, is pretty white and there's a lot of engagement. I guess I would say. That one. Yeah, it's like that's not as compelling as the one with the color tones on the tiles and stuff.
yes,
Huh.
It's a personal preference, so whatever your client wants.
yeah,
Yeah, understand that.
we'll see what she says. But I did like this side by side, and also because she's like she does these workshops with people from her church, and so I really liked the play on words to craft with soul because it's about like kintsugi is like how broken bowls are fixed with gold, and so like God will repair you with gold. So I thought that was kind of
So is
nice.
entropia an actual word, or is that what?
No, I don't know where she got that, but I did look up the meaning of the antra and then topia, and I can't remember, but there is a meaning which I thought uh,
Okay,
we can add to the site, but it's
like
yeah,
a descriptive, like a tagline or something that would.
or just maybe like tell the story on her about page,
Okay,
Um, yeah. So yeah, she hasn't written any copy, so this is all AI written copy.
is that the domain name? Entropia
Hmm.
dot com. Okay.
Yeah. But she doesn't have hosting or anything. I have a
Yeah, yeah, I get you.
sandbox.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
mock-ups, all right.
Yeah. I'm just doing the mock-ups and then I have some sandbox WordPress and I liked the this kind of thing, but I don't know if Claude included that.
This
Um
thing, what do you mean by this thing? I mean
oh
the footer or the
book a workshop the
Oh,
call to
right.
action.
The call to action at the top. Yeah.
Yeah, because the first direction I had was that they wanted to have like sort of like torn edges, and so I was like sort of playing around with that
Oh,
sort
like
of
you tore it
thing.
out of a magazine or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then I thought about featuring the Kintsugi workshop. That's her most popular one. And then having some more uh and
I
then
think you're doing a great job. I think that all this stuff looks pretty good, man. I mean,
yeah,
well,
I guess the good thing is if she can't decide.
yeah, it's the sensibilities. Like I like this color, I don't like that color, right? But for all in all, you're doing a fantastic job for mocking this up.
Oh, well, thank you. So
I
this
think.
is
Yeah.
so this is the final, and it looks a little blurry because I had to composite, because I liked this 2 by 2. I think it's for me, I think it's like more open and just yeah, I like the feel of it. And
How's
then
it how's it look on mobile?
I haven't done the mobile yet.
Okay, so you haven't okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but the mobile it will just stack. So it'll
Yeah.
slide under. Probably on mobile is better for the type to go on top and the image to go on the bottom. So, but yeah, I mean, I want to wait till see which one she likes before I spend time on the mobile. And yeah, so then so this is
Definitely. Yeah, you don't need more work.
yeah. So yeah, so but this is the one that Claude composited from all of the other took the best of all. And I liked the way they made the categories different colors. I thought that was a really cool idea.
That's a nice
Yep.
touch. That's good.
And then it wanted Cloud wanted to um, feature the Kintsugi to go, and then also feature. I hadn't featured the teacher, but it seemed to feel strongly that we should do that. And I think I provided this photo, and I think it looks great.
That's great.
And then she has some things you can buy, but I'm not going to do a e-commerce yet unless she wants to pay more because my quote didn't include
Yeah,
e-commerce.
that can be a
Yeah, but
problem.
that might be like a good learning experience for me if she wants to do it. And then the suggestion from Claude was to put the newsletter here as a call to action. And I
Yeah.
did like that a lot. And then here's the testimonials. And
Social
then,
proof. Yeah.
yeah, and then an additional call to action here to book a workshop. And then it grounded it with this sort of brown, dark brown, which I hadn't done before. I was making it like teal and stuff, but I can back up on here so you can see.
The footer is just a little dark, and if you're using teal already, I would think. I mean,
Yeah,
again, it's sensibility. Um, you know,
yeah. I didn't mind it though. I mean,
okay.
either one, because it has a lot of color on this one, because it's got the gold
Oh yeah,
and
Well, the teal's not to way down below the fold though. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I might put teal if she likes the teal. She really wants teal. I might put the header section where the hero is up there. I might make that
yeah.
um not be that color. Make it be the teal color.
Yeah, if she says that that's what she wants, because she didn't say that she wanted it to be heavy on the teal. She just said she wanted teal and terracotta accents. So
Oh, okay.
she actually didn't say, "Oh, I want it to be like all teal."
Oh, okay.
She was yeah, so we'll see, but that if she says she does want more teal, then it would be easy to add it to this area there.
You might
Yeah.
take that footer and run it through an accessibility checker,
Okay, the
right?
footer.
Well, at the very bottom where it's dark like that, and the
Hmm.
and the print on it, I don't know how that'll come up as far as accessibility goes. That was kind of my earlier comment. Uh,
Yeah, well,
I mean,
I'm not going to worry about it until she picks one, and then
okay,
and
fair
then
enough.
uh and then we can do the accessibility and stuff. Uh,
It's
but
just not quite as readable as all.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, and you'd hate her to say yeah, you know what I mean? You hate her to say yeah,
And
that's
then
great,
you
and
it, this
it's
fine
all
these
tune
were
it,
some
right?
of the
yeah.
other headers that I did. for some of the other designs. So we can mix and match. Yeah. But then I thought, this is great. I wanted to make sure that when I set my WordPress, I'm going to use Generate Press, and I want to set up the global styles. So I thought of, like Claude is being so talented. So I asked it to make me a creative brief,
Yeah,
and I'm blown away by this. This is just like amazing. Is so beautifully designed, and it has everything in it. It has all the platform and everything. It has the conversion goals, the design process that we just went through.
that's awesome.
Yeah, and
That's
it's
very cool.
I've never tried that. That's really cool.
Which version of
yeah.
Claude are you using?
Current
I'm
one.
just using Sonnet, but
Yeah,
it's blowing me away by the beautiful design. It calls up his front end skills, and I mean, it's just beautiful,
You
you
gotta
know.
yeah,
love it when you
totally.
have a
That's
client who's really on top of it.
totally bitching.
The client, you mean
Yeah.
the AI client?
No,
Well,
she did that herself.
I
oh,
did
you did
this.
that with AI? You put the
Yeah, I
Yeah,
did
creative
this
brief
with
together?
Claude. My client has not written one word of copy for the
Ah,
site. So, and I did tell Claude about that because they had to write all the copy, so all the copy on this site is AI generated, but then it's giving Teresa uh, the direction on how to write. And so it has like copy do's and don'ts, not this, and tells her how to write everything.
yeah.
And then it has the interaction details, technical specifications, the launch phases, so she knows when she's going to get it. And then these are all the things that my client has to do because she wants to start a YouTube channel, and she wants to have emails with devotionals that she can send out, and maybe use Eventbrite. Um, so so there's that.
which AI did this for you?
Claude Sonnet.
Claude Sonnet.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Excuse me for having to pull away. There was somebody, an obnoxious person at my door who's still there, by the way. Um, but
That's
And
crap.
yeah, I'm a big fan of AI when it comes to organizing things, for laying things out in smart ways, for breaking projects down into manageable bits.
well,
No
then
matter.
it created the website for me. Here's the real HTML. So this is already done.
That's great.
So
So
you
the
just
only
pay, it just gave you some paste code and you just pasted it in and
No,
off you
it
went.
gave me this HTML, and it used
Oh,
base 64 for all the images because I had provided the images.
Yep.
mm-hmm.
And then, but the thing is, I want to put it into Generate Press. So it's
Right.
going to be taking each one of these sections, and it'll make a Generate Press block that I can paste into Generate Press and actually have the real life block that I can edit in Generate Press. I won't need
Yeah.
to like put CSS in there. So I'm so stoked about this.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. So
That is really cool.
yeah, so
Good job, man.
yeah,
So the
thank you for all your feedback. Really
Well, I
yeah,
mean,
that's
I think it's really good, and I think that
yeah.
I think I learned a couple things too because I didn't know about that creative. I mean, I use it all the time, and I've never done that. Like build what I just, give me a what you call it, a creative what?
I made a creative brief, but see, the
Yeah,
thing was that there was two reasons why I thought of doing this because it did give me um it gave me like a brand book kind of thing.
yeah,
And so I thought, yeah, that's good. But I thought, the brand book is what you do at the end of the project. But at the beginning of the project, you do the creative brief. And so I thought, since I'm getting going, might as well like kind of back up a little bit and create the creative brief based on what I've already done, but I would going to do.
right.
And then the other twofold is that now, if I go back to Claude and I say, I want to iterate on this, or I want another page, just like in the same style, all I have to do now is give it this creative brief or give it the brand style guide, and then it can create more pages for me.
Right on.
Yeah, because I don't know if I can trust its memory because it can't even remember from one chat to
Well,
another.
you gotta tell it to make a memory of this.
Yeah, that's what I did. I said, I want you to make a memory of this, and then we'll use this creative brief and the brand book um to collaborate on this project going
There you
forward.
go.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that
So,
works out great then.
hmm And yeah, and Shannon helped me a lot because she got me looking at free pick. And that was really helpful. And then another friend of mine told me about Figma Make, and I tried that, and I thought that was fabulous. The only thing was that in Figma Make, uh, I asked it to create a website for me because I thought, well, this would be great. So I asked it to design a web portfolio for me,
Right?
and I thought this is fine. I don't know what you guys think, but I don't need to spend a lot of time on my own portfolio.
I'm with you.
But the only problem is here that if you go to the code, it's all in React.
Yep.
So ask Claude, can you change the React into generate press blocks?
What do you say?
Yes.
There you go.
So yeah, so that's going to be another one of my projects.
That works
Unless
out.
you guys don't like this,
I think
but
that's I think it's
I
great.
don't want to spend a lot of time on my own portfolio.
I'm totally with you.
Yeah, I just put in my own projects here.
Totally.
Yeah,
And
you guys think that's okay?
I do because that's how I roll.
Yeah, because right now I have my websites under construction. Because
Yeah, I understand. I totally get it, man. Half the time mine is too. I totally get it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Any other questions or any suggestions for me?
I think you're killing it, but
Okay.
who am I? I mean, I'm nobody. Don't, I'm not,
You're not nobody. You're a fellow Detroit person.
yeah, I know, but it doesn't mean I know what the hell I'm talking about. I mean, I'm not a good designer really, so I'm not that great at that, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah, well, when I've been working with chat in the past, it hasn't done great designs or even a PowerPoint. If I asked to do a PowerPoint, it's so ugly, you know.
yeah, yeah,
And
I do.
I
I do.
just didn't really expect it. I didn't know it was possible to get this kind of design work done with Claude,
Right.
And I mean, like, it's not like you just like put in like vibe code, like put say, build me a this,
I
like
totally understand.
I spent a lot of time working on these prompts, the prompt that I did for this, I this is my prompt here.
Right.
you know?
It's hard.
Yeah, so I gave it all my type specs, all the colors, all the hex colors, everything, you know.
Right.
So anyway, so I did use AI, but it's not like I had a lot of my own skin in it.
That's exactly what happens. I mean, you can think of yourself as like a project manager when you're using AI. You know, you still have to stay on it. You still have to tell what's happening. I mean, you can't
Or
just
art director.
yeah, something like that. Really, for real.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool because it allows you to um, it's cool because it allows you to do things that you might not have thought about doing before. You know, or might have taken you like 8, 10 years to figure out what you have to do. It seems like, you can do it much faster, but you still have to stay on top of it. You still have to like know what you want to be the outcome. Like you still have to, like anything, begin with the end in mind, and then you can sort right through it, and then you can prompt it to do the right things. But if you're not on it and you don't know what you want, I mean, you know what you're looking for, right? You knew what you're looking
Mhm.
for with the gal site, and you know what you're kind of looking for yours, and you know how to write that stuff, and you can stay on it, and you have the patience to be there and make it happen. And you have to think about the prompt and initially, and then even still, you have to adjust it. And there's all kind of, I mean, a lot of stuff goes into it. So you did
Yeah.
great.
Well, like these are some of the UIs that I did in Midjourney for it. But I didn't think these they wouldn't go This one's kind of, I don't know. Some of these are pretty nice, but
They're
so
real
these
nice.
are some of them. But you can see my prompt is a mile long,
Yeah.
you
A
know.
good prompt can be that. As a matter of
Mm-hmm.
fact, I now have on my desktop a kind of standing prompt that
Mm-hmm.
that just reminds my AI, this is my way of training my AI, my chat GPT, because I'm still working with that one because that's the one that I'm most likely to be asked to help people with. I'm always thinking in terms of what my clients need me to help them with. Um, and the prompt has a list of, rules that I have to do that I require having to do with, bias and AI hallucination and what they call, um, sy- uh, what's the term? Sycophantic something. Anyway, it's basically that aspect of AI where it's so eager to please that it will shove
Yeah,
aside
I'm now
truth.
finding that Claude is that uh, trying to please me, and
As long
I
as you know what you want and just keep it on a firm leash,
It'll be
AI,
fun.
I haven't really had a well, I mean, I've had
Mhm.
some surprising results, where it's like, dude, that's not what I told you to output. Um,
Exactly.
but if you're willing to be patient, if you're willing to adjust your prompts, and believe me, you can't write a prompt too long for AI because it read it
Yeah,
in a millisecond. But you can certainly give too short a prompt, you know.
right, because then, yeah. But I mean, the only difference, so this would be like using this for inspiration because then I'll still have to take it into Photoshop and then I'd have to, remove all this stuff and make all these assets. Whereas with with Figma Make, it's already created all the components, so definitely like for a site that like this I'm doing for this educator, like she's paying me so little, so then I was thinking, yeah, I could do like a really unique and but then I was thinking, really for what she's paying me I should just really do something that's like going to be good and work for her and not make me have to spend too much time on it, so
Hmm.
but yeah, so well, thank you.
Yeah.
I hope I didn't put anybody to sleep.
No, man, it's cool.
Okay, thank
No,
you.
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, we got to keep checking in on this AI thing. I mean, that is my major frustration, by the way, with ChatGPT, is the image generator that it includes.
Yeah,
It
it's not
has
good.
huge shortcomings. Where I basically just I've taken now to having it create components. I mostly have been using it like for social posting. Well, I'm sorry, in terms with my business. I've had it create content. I've had it create project planning, all kinds of different things. But where I've needed imaging for my own stuff, it's been frustrating, especially after once you start honing an image and it starts to drift,
Yeah.
um, and it's like, okay, no, that character should not have 3 arms and 4 eyes. Let's stick to, it can be really frustrating. But now I just simplify, but just having it when it has the component right, I just have it output that component. And
Yeah.
then it's just so much less frustrating for me to put it together in Photoshop
Well,
than it is.
I was just, I'm taking this Excel class too. And so like, I don't want to spend a lot of time on that. So I'm taking this Excel test and I couldn't figure out how to edit I was making a link as part of my exam and I was supposed to select a workbook and select a sheet within that. And I asked ChatGPT, how do I do that? I could find the workbook, but how do I get to the worksheet? And so it told me a way to do it, but every time I did that, it would say that was incorrect, and I failed that question. And I went back to it and said I failed every time I checked on the bookmark thing that you told me. it said that it was incorrect, and it said, "Oh, well, the LMS that you're using expects you to do it this way." And I was so frustrated because why didn't it knew I was doing this LMS? Why didn't it tell me that to begin with?
Yeah. At the end of the day, though, it's amazing. I've gotten to sometimes I almost feel apologetic to ChatGPT because I'm demanding too much of it. It's like, it did all this stuff for me, all this amazing stuff, everything from medical stuff that it's helped me with to interpersonal stuff. And then when I get in there and it starts screwing up on the image generator, I start getting short-tempered on it. So
Yeah.
it's just like, if you had a very enthusiastic intern. Um,
Well,
you
it's
want to
just
start,
that,
you want to start, stop short of start smacking him in the back of the head.
but
And
the thing is that I was always like, I was like, whatever it gave me, like, I was like happy and like, that's cool. But now that I've worked with Claude, Claude thinks things through and it'll ask you like questions, multiple choice questions before it answers. And
Yeah.
so now that I've seen what's possible, now I see the fallbacks, the weaknesses of chat.
hmm I mean, life is all about figuring out the workaround.
Hmm.
I
I'm
think
going to put
Claude
that
is
on a
leading.
t-shirt, man.
I think Claude is leading the AI, but for free AI for image generation, Grok and Nano Banana seem to be leading the
I
pack.
hear really good things about it.
Yeah.
I've been focusing on mono platform, mostly like I say, because I want to learn to get the most I can out of Chat GPT. So I've gotten, and I think I told you guys a while back, I was wanting to put it on my CV and on my website and things like that to offer AI assistance as an actual service, because I'm a web
Mm-hmm.
consultant and being able to offer that to a client. But I wanted to have a certain degree of competence before I could do that. But most people I know are using multi-platforms and figuring out, this one does this best, so we'll rely on that for that. So I'm gonna,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've had ChatGPT create some stunning graphics using the Nano Banana.
no, I
I
mean
I
well, this image right here,
uh-huh.
it compiled. I like put slides that I had from the past. It helped me create this little mascot,
Yeah, it's
which is
really good. Yeah, it's cute.
if you go to brasswingwebdesign.com, there's a blog post on the history of this little guy. Supposedly he's Widget, the AI um, web design robot, and he's got a backstory. And I was able to use Chat GPT to put together this funky little backstory, where
Yeah.
he's a robot from an old Radio Shack catalog. He's been kind of languishing since 1987, and now he's joined my team, and he's here to help people figure out, how to use AI positively in their businesses. And
Mm.
but I tell you, when I put together that little the little critter, the little robot, and then as soon as I had the robot, I had him output a lot of different poses, you know, hands out, fist in the air, holding a megaphone, all kinds of different poses, so I can just grab them and put them into an ad or a social post and just kind of keep reinforcing that particular mascot. But it was quite quite the
Mhm.
challenge for especially once we got to a certain point where he was developed at a certain point, then he
Mhm.
started to drift and it was like, oh my God,
Oh, so like
no.
you got him to a good point and then the next step was a little not as good. Is
Well, I
that
usually
right?
have to just withdraw,
Oh,
just shut down ChatGPT and go, you know what? I'm just gonna go have a lemonade and
yeah,
come back tomorrow.
yeah,
When I've cooled down a little bit, expecting this artificial intelligence, which has done amazing stuff for me,
yeah.
to be ready for
I
another
know. I
round.
feel I feel attached to ChatGPT also, but I know it's just a robot and it really doesn't have feelings. So
Well, sometimes the most ubiquitous tool, seldom is it the best one. But
yeah.
the fact that something is ubiquitous is the one that most people are going to benefit from using it. That's the one that they know. They know the name. They're gonna end up there. They're gonna have their problems, and they're gonna need help. Um, but yeah, you gotta have some
Well,
patience.
yeah, I mean, I'm paying for both of them right now, the Chat and Claude. I'm paying for both. I don't have the multi. I think Eagle has something where he can access all of
He
them.
still has to he still has to pay for his license key though.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
but
mean
uh,
it
but yeah.
doesn't do all the license keys. So yeah.
Well, listen, I want to again apologize for my having to withdraw there. It was weird, and I'll tell you guys about it in the parking lot if you really give a damn. Um,
We do.
but yeah, I just closed the door on a couple of cops
What?
yeah, oh yeah, parking lot.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
We got you, man. We got you.
um, so it's 7:42, so we're 12 minutes over. Are there any questions or issues or anything that didn't get answered? And thanks, Steve, for grabbing the helm while I had to
No
step
sweat, dude.
away.
No
There,
sweat.
Yes.
this guy was sitting there ringing the doorbell, so I couldn't turn my microphone on, or you guys would have heard my doorbell just going incessantly. He just
I
sat
heard it
there.
going. I heard it going initially.
Anyway, it was crazy. So, but
So
any questions, any issues that didn't
I
get
got one
covered?
quick one. I want to know if Lisa's squared away on her
We
plugin she was asking about.
we never did WooCommerce news.
Well, yeah, that's all right. There's plenty of content here, but Lisa was trying to figure out something for basically it's for registration for a free event or something. And I think the events manager Pi calendars become very popular. I think they have a free version, but we were talking about how you qualify or
Hmm.
vet the various plugins. But I just want to make sure that she didn't have any more questions about event planning in general or any particular plugin. What you're trying to do is pretty simple, and there's a
Yeah,
number of
it's
solutions. But I didn't want to leave you hanging.
yeah, so it's two parts that I'm trying to figure out. It's one thing to put a plugin onto the site, but then how to then use it. And I'm willing to pay a fee to consult with somebody to go over my website and what it's doing, how it was constructed, and some
Well, you
feedback
see
about
that list of
parts of it.
meetups that I shared earlier.
Yeah.
Steve runs one.
Yep.
That's tomorrow night, isn't it? Or it's Thursday, right?
Yeah, it's Thursday.
Yeah, so he runs one once a month. There's several of them. What you're trying to do, you pick your plugin, and then the settings for the plugin is what you're asking about. And that's I don't think you need to hire anybody. You come to some of these meetups, and there's a ton of people that have been through it, and they will look at and they'll say, "All right, do this, that," and it's probably won't take 10 minutes.
Okay.
I put my contact info, including my Calendly. You can grab a calendar slot, and I'll spend time with you for free, and we can talk about that sort of stuff. I was gonna say this is unconventional, but this meeting has been unconventional. Would it be too much of an imposition, Mike, to do like an abrupt, truncated version of Woo News? Is
Oh, sure, I'll jump on that. I mean, this is a week old, but yeah, let me pull it up.
because you're
I think Steve's seen it already.
Yeah,
So
we have. It's all right, man.
yeah, so for those that
a repetition is the
are
soul of
not
learning.
familiar, I run
That's
a
great.
weekly e-commerce meetup called WooCommerce, and I'll put the link to this. And the reason I do it this way is that we cover a bunch of news items. So rather than keep putting the links in the chat, I just create a blog post each week. And so I'll share my screen real quick, like we'll run down it. And you should be able to see the screen. This is an AI generated image. I do something goofy every week. And I went with a woo wheel this week. But each week I do something.
Your
So
blog feeds become quite the gallery for AI image
He
creations.
does it, man. He does it all the time.
yeah,
Yeah.
every week I do something just to play around. And because I want to know these tools, just like Linda is going through what she's learning. If you don't use it and you don't play around with it, you don't really understand the power
Yeah.
of it.
Well,
right? So I've
you got
used,
dozens of them up now, right?
oh yeah, I've used maybe 10 different AI tools.
Yeah.
But like I said, for image generation in the free versions, I tend to go with Grok or Nano Banana. I think they do a little bit better job. Canva does all right, but the problem with Canva is you put text in, the Canva text is always seems to be off a little bit. But anyway, that's the whole, those tools are only going to get better. It's going to get easier, and it's great. Is you can do a lot of design work using these AI tools, and I think we're just getting started. So it's going to be amazing. So anyway, each week we start off with the upcoming meetups. Now, as I'm saying, this is almost a week old, so a lot of these meetups have passed. But at the top here is a guy named Eric and a guy named Eagle. They do meetups every month, and so these are like permanent links to those guys. Most people in this group know Eric and Eagle. Great resources. Follow them, get involved. If you're going to do WordPress stuff, those are guys you want on your radar. And so here's a bunch of meetups that were coming up, and I think I didn't get you on the list this week. Did you schedule Ed? Did you schedule your meetup late? Because I didn't see it in the calendar.
No, I mean, I preset our meetups months ago, so it automatically does it on Meetup, and it even does it
Yeah, meetup's
automatically
kind of
on
goofy.
WordPress.
Anyway, I'm sorry I missed you. Normally I would get you
Oh man,
on the calendar.
hey, we
map,
had
so.
we had a good turnout. So
Yeah, you did.
we had
So
some
anyway,
good.
Woo News were the latest reverse. They're always updating. There's always security patches. They're always fixing little glitches on all these versions. So the most current version, as of last Wednesday, was 10.5.3 release. And if you want to read about that, you can hot link to these articles. They tell you what they did in the release. WooCommerce 10.6, that's coming up. That's probably going to be April. I'm not sure when that release is coming, but it's coming. There's a new WordPress, WooCommerce coming out. For those that are interested in drop shipping, which a lot of times when you first start a website, you don't want to carry inventory, you're early, and you can just drop ship. You can feature and write articles about stuff, and then, the affiliate links and drop ship and have everybody people handle the shipping, handle the returns, handle everything, and you get a little piece, 5-10% usually. Anyway, excuse me, there's an article about drop shipping and some of the best practices and some of the new ideas, stuff that's trending. So if you want to get into your website and you're trying to monetize it, drop shipping is an easy way to get in. You don't have to carry inventory. It's how a lot of people get started. Top 6 advantages of WooCommerce. This is coming from TechBullion. So WooCommerce is it's the biggest platform, e-commerce platform plugin for WordPress. There's like 7-8 million. It used to be that it was like 8 million, but now not everybody gets the plugin from the repository like they did, and there's different ways since the big dust up between Mullenweg and WP Engine, the big lawsuit, which we won't get into right now. But it's probably about 8 million people are using WooCommerce. Anyway, this is an article talking about why you would use WooCommerce versus Wix or Square or some of the other things. And the main thing is that you own it. You don't run the risk of getting shut down because they don't like your product or your politics or just you, right? When you have WooCommerce, it's your website, and you can just always move it to a hosting. But if you're sitting on Shopify or you're sitting on Square, you could wake up one day and all your stuff's gone, and that's why we always want to maintain it. It's not as easy because you have to maintain it or hire someone to maintain it, but you also have that control. WordPress news, we're on 6.91. All these maintenance releases, whenever for those of you that are just starting, and most of people here are pretty knowledgeable, but you generally don't want to do the main updates. Like when 6.9, that's a big update. You wouldn't update that right away. You give it a few days, let the kinks run out. But the dot releases, the dot ones, twos, those are almost security. They're almost always patches. So those, it's important to update those pretty much right away. But the main, up here in April, I think it's April 9th is going to be the WordPress 7.0. And this is the beta version, which people that are testing it and working with it, you wouldn't update that 7.1 right away. You'd probably give it about 5 days or a week before you update to it. Because when it first comes out, then stuff that breaks, you learn about it. So you always give it a few days on the major updates. But on the dot releases, those tend to be security patches.
You got to give the plugin and theme people a
Yeah, the
chance to catch
themes and the
up.
plugins, right? There's conflicts that haven't been fully worked
Debugs
out.
and
And what they'll do is they'll usually those will become apparent and they'll get patched. And so generally on the major releases, you give it about a week. Now these next couple of articles have to do with vulnerabilities. This Seraphonite Accelerator. This is like a caching plugin. 60,000, pretty serious a vulnerability. You need to get that up if you're using it. I don't imagine anybody in here has been using it. A WordPress user registration membership plugin. That might be a little bit about what Lisa was asking about. But anyway, this particular one affects 60,000 sites. And when you get a 9.8 out of 10 security vulnerability, it's pretty serious. It's been patched in 5.1. So if you're using, or 5.1.3, excuse me, again, it's these dot releases that are important. They're the ones that are patching security risks. So anyway, there was a pretty serious vulnerability in that particular plugin. A WordPress calendar plugin vulnerability affects 100,000 sites. Same thing. And this is coming from Search Engine Journal, Roger Monti, who publishes a lot. Search Engine Journal, they stay on top of this business. Now, a few people in our group, the gang that we run around, they don't like them because they advertise a lot. But they do. They're pretty timely with their articles. How to add icons on your WordPress menu. Now, we were talking about icons in another meetup a couple weeks ago. So this guy is talking about how do you use icons in your menus? When to use them, when not to use them. Pretty comprehensive article coming from also this one's from Tech Bullion. But icons can give your site character, and there's good ways to use it and bad ways to use it, and that's what that's article about. Page Builder by Site Origin. Now, this is a somewhat popular page builder. Most people in our group will either use Elementor or Beaver Builder or Divi. Site Origin, we come across it once in a while, but not very much. But anyway, there's 500,000 websites that were using it. And they got a vulnerability 8.8. So if you happen to be using that page builder, you're going to want to get the latest update on that. And then for free resources, this particular resource is not as recommended. I learned about it a week or two ago, and I thought, all right, that's pretty cool. And they're making it available. Fluent, if you know Fluent plugins, they got Fluent forums, they got Fluent community, they got Fluent. They've done a really good job. That Fluent organization, people like. So they come out with this embedded kind of video player. But the 2 or 3 people that I know, since they're saying it's not ready for prime time. But I share it. You can get it for free. Download it for free right now. I'll click through to it. And there's this, you give them your name, your email. They're really wanting you to test it out. They're beta testing is what they're doing. But you can get it for free where, but, Eagle didn't care for it. I think DK didn't care for it. They said it's just not ready. So this particular video player isn't, it's just not recommended. It's not ready for prime time. But I will give you another free resource here that I think is actually pretty cool. Let me see if I can find it. It's called VoiceBox. Let me drag this on over here so you can see this. Okay, what VoiceBox does, it'll take your voice, it'll take a sample of your voice, and then you can give it a transcript, and then it will create it very, very quickly. Now, this is 100% free. You can do it on Mac, Windows, Linux. But this is a pretty cool tool. This is going to be my free resource on Wednesday. And you can take samples from some celebrity, like, I don't know, George Clooney or Robert De Niro or somebody, right? And you'll take a little bit of their text, and then you feed it in there, and then you give it the transcript, and then it will create a audio for you for your website. Like, so you want to talk about, like, Linda's client was the creative art or whatever it is, and you could do either in Linda's voice or in the instructor's voice or some other famous artist's voice, and give it you go to Chat GPT or AI and create a text and then feed it into VoiceBox, and it will do near perfect dialogue. And I think it's Lab 11, is that what they're called? Which is kind of an expensive stuff.
11 Lab.
Yeah, 11 Lab. Yeah, that you pay pretty good money for that. And this does the same thing for free. So I would say this is the better free resource this week.
Absolutely.
And that's my update. So thank you for having me share.
That's cool, dude.
Thanks, Mike.
Any comments, questions,
Wow.
follow up?
I'm inclined to
good,
go
man.
play with the voice box.
Thank you for all
I
of
think
your
you'll like it,
information.
man. I think you.
Come back, Asta.
I will. I will. Thank you so much. I appreciate
Did
it.
we answer Asta's question? I can't remember.
You beyond answered my questions. I learned from what you put up. It's very impressive and very inspiring.
Oh,
Okay.
good,
I'm in
good.
a 16-week class, so it's a lot to learn.
Oh, right on.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Mm.
I very much appreciate it. Have a wonderful night, everyone.
And
You too,
remember
Steve.
that I've gotten some pretty good instructions from ChatGPT
Yep.
when it comes
Definitely
to
using it.
you have
Yeah.
to take it with a grain of salt because it's all AIs are still learning, and there's no substitute for an AI with someone overseeing it properly. So be really cautious about taking its word for everything 100%. But
Yeah.
you can get a lot of, if you have a particular thing that you're trying to do in WordPress, try asking your question in ChatGPT. You might be surprised. It might give you an answer that works in another version of WordPress. Sorry, but
It needs supervision.
it
It's just
definitely does.
Michael Jordan's the greatest basketball player in the world, and he needed a coach, right? I mean, it's sort of.
Yeah. There's only so much you can. I mean, they're all these AIs are prodigies, but they are not flawless. They're not faultless. So anyway, okay, that brings us almost to 8 o'clock. My fault. And thank you all for being here. Thanks for contributing. I ask you to please, post our social. This will, I didn't put up a replay of last time, Steve. Um, last
I
time
know.
it was it was me and Steve and who? Was it
I
just
don't
you and
know.
me?
I think maybe just you and me.
I think
There
it was
wasn't
just you
anybody.
and me, yeah.
Yeah.
Crapshoot.
Sorry, I missed. I just
Uh,
got hung up and couldn't get home in time.
no, it's okay. We only resented you for a while. All right, but I'm always appreciative to see you guys. Like I say, share and tell people about it, and any ideas that you have to help grow this group. We just ancillary information. We've recently lost a couple hundred members. When I took over, there was, I believe the number was 897 members. And in the time that I've been hosting, we were up to 1,100 something. And then just the other day, when I was making my round of Be There posts, I noticed that we were at 880 members.
Yeah, but that's because WooCommerce, I mean, that's because
Meetup
Meetup
is
Yeah, they
purging.
did.
deleted
Meetup
inactive
they
members.
culled their files, and they
Yep,
were
they're
doing a
purging.
major house cleaning since pandemic. A lot of
If it wasn't active in 2 years, isn't that
they
Steve?
said
Yeah.
3 years. They
Was it
took
maybe
off.
it was
Yeah, well,
3 years? If it wasn't active in 3 years, they don't want to carry him anymore.
gone.
That's probably what's going on with your group.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
definitely that's what went on. But it was startling. I went in there and because I get a notification if somebody leaves, and I'll go check, and the person had never RSVP'd for anything. Because
Yeah.
inside it's like, well, what did I do? But you'll look and you'll see that that person never RSVP'd for anything, never showed up for anything.
Damn right.
They're just culling their own subscriptions themselves. But anyway, tell people about us, and be here next time. If you've got something cool to present, or know of somebody who presents cool stuff, I want to hear about it. And with
All
that,
right.
I am gonna end the recording, but I'm gonna keep the parking lot open. I can tell you my fascinating doorbell story,
Yep.
or you can take off and go live your lives happily. All right. Well, thanks for being here, everybody.